So this is the second video on Doombreaker, and this video contains episode 3 to episode 6. I try to give the all important events of the story, not too many details. After all, if I spoiled everything, why would you like to read it? So I'm just ensuring you will get some interest in the webtoon and you can go and check it. So in the third episode you get to know how monsters are made. They don't have some sort of biological origin, but they can have genders. And they also have some sort of food chain as well. So distortion of mana is the reason why monsters are alive. And their body contains mana crystal which can be useful, and their other body parts can be used as raw material. So that's why these monsters are kind of useful, because they are very hostile to humans. Just like your neighbor Karen, who is always hostile towards you because you're having fun without harming anyone. So she's harming you to have fun. Now you get the proper idea of how the monsters are in this universe and why they are important. We also get to know about monsters are kinda hard to kill. That's why some hunting teams got some good payment to kill them. So the story begins at the same shop where he pours a lot of recovery water. And Zephyr is still looking for getting more recovery water. Why are you asking? Well, it will help him to get stronger. And later on in the story, we will get to know why he needed that so badly. So he was run out of credits, and suddenly a priest comes from behind and she suggested he can sell his organs for money. And you know what? He agrees. And hospitals pays for the extra money for recovery water. And when he was drinking recovery water, the priest says he is a very weird man. I guess I agree. There are some idiots who even sell their kidneys for latest phone. Luckily I'm not into this. After he finished drinking a lot of water, the hunting team shows up at the right time. There are 3 teammates. Gote? Hai? Gote? Well, that means balls in Hindi and Marathi. Same as this university's name is something which is censored in Japanese animation. You know what I'm saying. And he has 2 other guys, Dale and Marco. Zephyr told them he has the capability of mana detection. It is like sonar but in a form of mana. And that god thinks Zephyr is useful because he has to not waste money on night vision potion. Zephyr carries their stuff and they move to Minefield. Zephyr recognized one of the team members because that guy worked with him, and the other 2 were dead in the dungeon. They reached to mine entrance where standby units waiting for them and gave them magic bracelets, which helps if someone gets into danger. They can ask for backup. Later they all enter the cave and 2 small sized monsters were walking on their path. They heard a voice and go to check it. Suddenly God and Dale come from behind and slit their throats. Later that kill our Gotia. God get greedy and decided to clear the entire dungeon themselves. After all, they are a hunting team, and if they are somehow get a chance to get a bonus, why they don't like to get? But Dale told him their job is about to clear the road for the striking team, not killing all of the monsters. But gods think they can take out everyone. After all, there are mostly kobolds. And their god tells Zephyr to take out moonbush leaves and berries. And they are mixing it with kobold excrements and smell it like a female kobold is on a heat cycle. And kobolds can smell it over 300 feet and they rush to the source. And there they set a trap that nearly kills many kobolds. And everyone appreciates God for his plan. And he was too desperate that he takes all the credit. But on the other side, Zephyr was the one who told him. After a few hours, Marco and Dale report that the entire area is totally clean and there are not many monsters left. And Zephyr told them he went alone into the cave and checked the entire place himself. And God was shocked at that how he did that, and Zephyr also convinced God to clear the dungeon, because if this little easy dungeon is cleared by the team he is leading, it is more profitable for them. And they don't have to share with other teams who will come here later. And then we see the POV of God. He starts thinking that Zephyr is very experienced, knows a lot about preparation, and doesn't even rush to get credits. And he is looking to demand him into their team if he is useful in hunting team. He gave him a dagger and the team start clearing the dungeon. And suddenly Dale found a pile of bones. He thought they are just normal bones or maybe animal bones. But no, they are bones of kobolds. And suddenly a bigger monster grabbed Dale and tossed him away. And Marco asked everyone to get behind him and he opens a very strong shield that was really useless. And that hell is about to hit Go too, and we saw the outside standby team get a signal that 3 bracelets are snapped, which means there is something very bad going on as 3 are snapped at the same time. We saw that Zephyr protected God with his wall of iron, yet God get very serious damage. Then we saw a very big predator, and he was similar to a cuckoo bird, like pretending as their child of some other monsters so they can raise him on their own. And later when he is strong enough he can start eating anyone he gets. And here our hero starts showing up his skills by boring the spear, and he shows something in his hand, and this is where the 3rd episode ends. In the first panel we get to know about a silver key which allows him to hold the item in the room. and can summon whenever or wherever he is. And he summons a cloth and dragonweed. And dragonweed actually comes to mind in cloth tie on hand to hold the spear tightly. God feels humiliated that a miner is going to defend him, but suddenly Predator roars and God starts feeling fear. And suddenly he remembers when an old soldier told him about the attack by Predator on a little village. Everyone stand there without even blinking, and Predator ate them one by one, and they just wait for their turn to be eaten. And later in the story we see God witness how fastly Zephyr is fighting that Predator. And seriously, it was so fast that he had no idea what is going on. But Zephyr holds dragonweed in his mouth, which keeps his mind calm even in a dangerous situation. And he also had Herpes' secret skill that can boost up any effect up to 5 times. That's why he's able to stand against that Predator. Zephyr takes out a poison and coats the spear with it. That poison is 68 in the list of 72 most deadly poisons. We saw a flashback where Zephyr's friend Fade gave him and told him that no matter if the world is going to an end, his all work will be wasted. So he gave it to Zephyr, and he will be happy if these poisons can kill any monster and save any life. And the poison Zephyr was using was one of the poisons he get from Fade. And written from flashback, we saw Zephyr stab the monster with the poison, and it is made of a common plant, and this can cause so much pain before killing the target. And now Zephyr has to hold Predator for the next 3 minutes. He planned to either keep the Predator busy or just knock it down, and that's exactly what he did. He stabbed with both parts of the spear and the dagger as well, which was given by God to him. And Predator is still not dead, so he punched the piece of the spear through the entire skull and Predator dies. And God realized that he is already a very skilled fighter, and he did not want to impress him. He just wanted to get into the dungeon to help. And as a miner, he is not even allowed to enter the dungeon. And we Zephyr come to God and says they need to talk, and their episode 4 ends. The episode starts with a team of temple warriors killed by the hunters who hunt worshipper of Tartarus. Yeah, the same Tartarus we saw in the early episode. And there is a hunter called Shahak who leads them. A guy begging for his life and claiming he's not the one. But when the other buffed guy kills him, that revealed he was indeed the Tartarus worshipper, and Shahak killed the centipede. Later, Shahak was presented in Matthias' court, where Matthias was really angry with him because he killed nearly 7 people just to find one imposter. And that's a very bad ratio indeed. But Shahak convinced Matthias why he is doing it. It is less than a month for a raid, and they can fight even with low numbers of warriors. But one imposter can cause multiple issues, and Matthias convinced. The story moves to the human resource department, where we see Zephyr, Goat, and another lady who is handling the office. And Goat demand to transfer Zephyr to their recon unit team. The lady told them if Zephyr performed badly, their unit also lost the profit as well, so it is their choice to keep him on their team or not. And God was angry with this, because whatever Zephyr is doing, God will get the credits. Later on we see what God and Zephyr talking about in the dungeon. Zephyr told God that he should pretend the fight with Predator never happened. On this, God asks that he just wants corpses, and Zephyr tells that he just wants Predator corpses. God can tell his boss that this dungeon was only full of kobolds. Well, the reason is, if a temple slave finds anything, they have no rights to it. It is temple's property, and dungeons are kind of treasure chest. I told you this before, didn't I? And a slave gets a bonus based on the value of the loot. And Zephyr told God that he can get good money if he sells this to a broker. But God says there is a standby unit stand outside, and if they leave the corpses behind, there will be a follow-up team that will come and check the area later. And God's point was right. But then Zephyr showed him the silver key, and the entire Predator was gone into another dimension, and God was surprised. Not even the Predator is gone, even the blood on the cave is also gone. Zephyr offers him a scheme that will indeed go to give him a promotion. Zephyr told God that he can clean 3 more dungeons for him, and he can divide the loot, and in exchange Zephyr keeps the corpses. God realized that he have a point. After all, this is clearly a very low level dungeon, and he is just a leader of a recon unit, and that's why he is not getting much promotion for over 3 years. And if Zephyr is in his team, they can actually get to clear the zone without any interference, because recon unit is actually the first unit that came into the zone and observe and clear the path before the big monster. And if he clears the dungeon with a small unit, he will make him look good as a unit leader. And God agrees with this. After all, Zephyr wants money and God wants a promotion. But they have to be very careful and didn't get caught in the act. Zephyr told God that if he gets a decent price for the corpses, he can pay off his debt and he can get out of the temple. But he wants to do something before leaving this temple. The temple knights are about to make a raid in less than a month, and in that raid they will find an item that Zephyr needs it. So he has to join the raid and claim that item. Zephyr's registration was completed and he is now part of a hunting team, and Zephyr speaks in his mind about the past life. He wasn't able to join the raid because there are only 20 people who can join. And to join the raid, someone should be very skilled or have good connections. God tells Zephyr about where he should go, and he is about to visit Dale and Marco in the hospital. Suddenly Shahak shows up with his team and God tells him to bow before them and treat them like a superior. Because these guys are official agent of Inquisitor. They are the slaves that works directly for the Inquisitor, and God also mentioned that they can target anyone without a trial, and Shahak just joined them because he only wants to kill people. Suddenly Shahak pointed out God and Zephyr, and God thinks he hears them, and he comes close to both of them. He pointed at Zephyr and gives him his introduction and asks him to give his introduction. God tries to interrupt and start giving introduction of Zephyr to Shahak, but Shahak shut him up and God started feeling shaking again. Shahak had a sense that indeed Zephyr is very strong and he is just dressed as a miner to be sent here. Actually, whenever the new slaves get into the temple, they all get tested, and those who are fit for the fighting sent to the hunting team, and those who are not sent to the mining team. But this strong guy sent to the mining team first and then he joined the hunting team. Shahak was kind of very suspicious and he ordered his soldiers to cover Zephyr from all sides. And there episode 5 ends. The episode began with Shahak asking Zephyr about the Tartarus worshipper, and then we heard from Zephyr about what are they. But right now they are currently on a very low level that nobody knows about them. Zephyr replies that they are a cult that oppose the Orthodox religion. So Shahak responded that there is more difference than that, and he can sniff out those who are Tartarus worshipper, and that's why he is working for Inquisitor Matthias. And he pointed his blade at Zephyr and told that he is some sort of a threat. And he warns Zephyr that whatever he says or does will be used against him. And in return, Zephyr says he wants to ask him something, and one of Shahak's men gets pissed off, but Shahak told him to stop right now. And Zephyr says can they go somewhere else because there are too many people who are watching both of them. And if he humiliates him, it can cause Shahak in an awkward situation, and Shahak, who is literally joined for killing people, thinks that Zephyr is kidding. And he started the fight with Zephyr. Nothing much when the fight is going on, so let's skip to the part where the story continues. I don't want to ruin your fun watching those awesome fighting scenes. Though Zephyr beat the shit out of everyone, and Shahak called him a son of a bitch and asking who the hell he is. And then Zephyr teased him, "You are an interrogator. Is that all you have to ask me?" And Zephyr was being a bigger badass. He says, "Unfortunately for you, you don't have a right to know that." And behind the scene we saw a girl looking at Zephyr, and he felt amazed that he could be sent by his master. And who is his master? We don't know until we read episodes 7 to 10. So wait for me, I will be back. And thanks for watching. If you like the work, please share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video, and don't forget to check out our Webtoon Nivin.